Yo, 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 it's your boy Jamar, Top Chef Sports Talk. Back with another Eagles video. The 2024 schedule is out. We're here to break it down. Join me now. Comment in the section below. Tell me how you feel about my predictions so far. I'm only doing the top 5 games, where the 5th game is the bye. But we're going to review the first 4 games, breaking it down in segments. You guys let me know how you feel. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hope you guys are happy, excited, ready for upcoming 2024-2025 season, with the Eagles. Man, we got a lot to look forward to. We lost Jason Kelce. Thanks for your services, Jason Kelce. We appreciate everything that you gave to the Eagles organization. We appreciate your heart, your hustle, your willingness to always be ready and available to play. Shout out to you, Jason Kelce. Shout out to you. Hats off. But with that being said, we're going to review the Eagles 2024-2025 schedule. Get our wins, losses, see how you guys think about it, and see if we close to within what I'm picking. Now, mind you, last year I had it starting out 10-0. Look at the videos from last year. I started out 10-0, and we did. And actually, I think I might have had it starting 11-0, but I didn't predict that loss to the Jets. Awful loss. Should have never happened. It happened, but we all know we had the epic collapse towards the end of the season. And we gotta. I think what we did this offseason by getting our coordinators together. We got Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio. I think we are going to be a little bit more solid. I think our offense is going to be a little bit more unpredictable. We're not going to be doing the quarterback sneaks, the slants, the brotherly shoves. The 1,000-time passing to A.J. Brown and forcing it to Devontae Smith. I have faith in Kellen Moore to be the offensive guru we need him to be when it comes to this Philadelphia Eagles offense. Reason why I say that, we got pieces, guys. We got a dynamic bunch of players on this team. Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They locked up the receiving core for the foreseeable future. They're locked, stock, and barrel. These guys are going to have a long run when it comes to just successful football as Philadelphia Eagles franchise. Saquon Barkley there for 3 years. We drafted running backs. We got Dallas Goedert, tight end. We're solid, man. And I think our defense, although we need to prove it out there on the field, we have a crowded cornerback room, which is the first time we can say that in a long time, because we never was able to say that before. The cornerbacks are going to be competing. I think the cornerbacks are going to be competitive. We got our safeties. CJ GJ is back. Shout out to you, good brother. Glad to see you back in that Eagles green, representing that Kobe, that number 8, representing that Philly Kobe, or Lower Marion, because he said he wasn't from Philly. But Kobe, rest in peace, we love you. Representing that Philly Kobe. So I hope he brings that Mamba mentality back to the Eagles defense, because with his 6 takeaways that were gone the year before last year we suffered. Our corners couldn't cover me. Bradbury couldn't cover me. We drafted the two of the top cornerbacks in the draft. Michael Parsons is like, how did that happen? How did those guys slip to them? How did those guys slip to them? I think Howie has done a phenomenal job. The one knock I have on Howie, because I still believe that you could have paid him and still made the moves that you did, was Hassan Reddick. You don't give up 10 sacks. You don't give up 10 sacks like that. You just don't do it. I don't know the thought process. Maybe he believed that his younger guys, Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff, maybe he believed that those guys would be able to hold it down for him and have that type of production that Hassan Reddick was putting out. I'm hoping. I'm glad to see that we did maintain Josh Sweat. Fletch, we lost Fletch. You know, that's a big piece. But Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, you guys are ready. You guys got to step up. Milton Williams, you guys are there. You guys got to step up and be a part of it. We brought BG back. Old head, salute to you. Welcome back. But you're probably like your farewell tour. And I'm hoping you ball out. I'm hoping you keep the young guys in line. And I'm hoping you ball out, BG. I'm hoping you ball out in your farewell tour. I'm hoping that ride down to Broad Street is what results from you balling out. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, BG, you've been a solid piece to this team since you got drafted. I remember the first 2 years were a little rough for you. First 2 or 3 years were a little rough for you. We wasn't too sure about you, but man, you pulled it together. You went in that bag, man, and made it happen, man. So salute to you, BG, on probably your farewell tour, most likely your farewell tour. Appreciate your service too. Appreciate what you brought to the team, brought to the city, brought to the organization, and the culture of Philadelphia football. We appreciate that, man. You don't find Fletch, you too, man. You was a big integral piece. You balled out from day one. You know, it was sad to see you go. I wish that we could have figured out a way, but we have to develop these young guys, so it's understandable. So we gotta get the young guys developed and get them guys, going. But with that being said, man, like I said, it's a lot to look forward to this season, man. I'm most intrigued about what we could do on offense, and I'm hoping there's a lot of motion and movement on the offense, keeping defenses keeping defenses guessing, not knowing what the heck you're getting ready to do. Are you getting ready to run it with Saquon? You getting ready to RPO with Saquon, running with Jalen? Are you going to RPO with Saquon, drop back, hit Smitty, hit AJ, hit Goddard? Who you going to hit? I'm curious to see how Kellen Moore runs this offense, man. I think this offense is probably going to be one of the most high-flying offenses in the league. I don't think there's too many defenses that's going to be able to make stops on this offense, because I think that we are just that skilled in just about every position to be honest. We got 2 number 1 receivers. I mean, Devontae Parker ain't no slouch as a slot. He ain't no slouch. We drafted a couple of receivers that could be put in that slot position. So I think overall, listen, we have a lot to look forward to, a lot to be happy about within this organization right now. I think the sky is the limit as long as guys are healthy, as long as guys are buying in, and as long as guys understand their role and we got an identity. If we have an identity, we are unable to be stopped. Unable to be stopped. If we have an identity, guys know their roles, guys know where they need to be at, what they need to be doing, how they need to be doing it, we cannot be stopped. And if you think about the genius of Howie Roseman, right? Think about the genius of Howie Roseman. This guy, we made moves underneath the salary cap to free up some money. We went out and had one of the best drafts that any team has had this year. We still had young guys from last year, and we still continue to build for the future. So instead of our team getting older and beat up, and we're getting younger, we're still young. We're young in a lot of our core areas. Whereas though it's going to be hard for teams to really compare to us once we get rolling. Once we get an identity of who is who and what is what, and this is your role, this is what you go. there's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for teams to stop us. Everybody has to sit there and study their playbooks, buy in, do what they need to do as a teammate, as an individual, as a player representing the Eagles organization. And if we all can do that, if they not we, I'm not on the field, but if they all can do that, it will be unstoppable, an unstoppable team overall. I mean, they're already calling for our young guy. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart on his name. That we drafted for cornerback. They already. I know Cooper DeJean is one of them, but the other one that we, Quavion Mitchell. I'm sorry, Quavion. I apologize. Quavion Mitchell. They already start calling him to start over Bradbury because they believe he's that good. And not to mention, if you really think about it, we got the young boy Isaiah Rodgers that we picked up from the Colts last year because he was suspended for gambling. Like, our cornerback room is stacked. Now, don't get it wrong. I believe Slay will start, but the opposite of Slay is just like the slot. And we bring Avante back. Like, it's man. I believe. I know I'm fanboying right now. You guys are gonna probably kill me in the comments or whatever for this, but I honestly believe that the team that we have assembled, the team that we have built, is a team that can be reckoned with for years to come. They can't be reckoned with for years to come. Like, because everybody's young. And once everybody gets their wind beneath their wings, no pun intended, but once everybody get their wind beneath their wings, get going, like, this is years of like powerhouse football. This is years of winning. This is years of that. We can literally do it. We just gotta make sure we buy into the system, understand our roles, and we gotta hold our coaches accountable for giving us an identity. Establishing our identity from not even week one. We need to establish our identity from preseason. We need to establish an identity from the joint practices, which, by the way, I hear we're joint practicing with New England this year. So we need to establish identity from that point. So by the time week one comes around, when we in Brazil with Green Bay, because Green Bay is tough, they're tough. They're a squad that took out the Cowboys last year in the playoffs. So those guys got confidence. Jordan Love has got confidence. He's got a new running back. Like, those guys they're up and coming as well. But we are better than them. Right now, how we're better than them. But we have to make sure we get our identity so that we know that we're better than them and we play like we're better than them. So that is what I'm looking for to start our season as the 2024-2025 Philadelphia Eagles. Identity, identity, identity. You get that together, sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. I don't care what you say. Sky is the limit. All right, anyway, let's get into the schedule. Let's get into the schedule. The schedule was released a couple days ago. Man, it's the first 4 or 5 games. The first 4 games are tough. The fifth game is a bye, or the fifth week is a bye. I don't like our bye being at the 5th week. I'm used to our byes being at the later part of the season because I like, at that point, for our guys to be getting rest to go into that playoff run. But the schedule is what it is. You got to play what you got to play, and we got to do what we got to do. So guys that's what I'm saying. Guys, it got to go back to identity. If we have an identity, then guys can play in the system and not get hurt. I mean, you can't predict injury. I mean, you can't prevent injury, but you can limit injury if you know what you're doing when you're out there on that field. If Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio gives guys an identity or gives this team an identity, we can actually know what we're doing out there in the field and possibly limit injuries. Because after week 5, we go, it's balls to the wall because you don't have a break. You don't have a break. You're talking about 13 weeks straight of football, straight, nonstop. You know what I mean? Get some teams that's going, make trades at deadlines and things like that, and get better. So we got to make sure we know what we're doing when we're in that field. We got to have an identity so that we can hopefully stay injury free. Hopefully. And I know, like, here's the thing. Y'all gonna say it's football, you're gonna get injured, and I know that. And this is why I'm gonna say this is what I'm gonna say to that. You cannot be 100%. If you go in the playoffs 100% healthy, then you didn't play football. You wasn't in the game. So if you go in the playoffs 100% healthy, then you didn't play football. You wasn't on the field. Nobody's going into week 18 or week 19 100% healthy. You know what I mean? So if you are, you didn't play football. But with that being said, like I said, let's get into the schedule. Week 1, first ever game in Brazil, on the first ever being able to be played on a Friday night. Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights. Eagles at Green Bay. Or no, Green Bay at Eagles, because I believe the Eagles are the home team in that game. I believe the Eagles are the home team in that game. Like I said, Jordan Love, confident, took out Dak Prescott and the Cowboys last year in the playoffs. I mean, literally picked them apart, was just throwing the ball all over the field. You know what I mean? He looked like he was Aaron Rodgers back there in that game. I mean, he darn near looked like Aaron Rodgers that game against the 49ers the next week. They should have beat the 49ers. This is a new year. No 49er hate right now. Got nothing to say to you guys. Hats off to you. Y'all went to the Super Bowl. Y'all lost. Y'all did what we did. Shouts out to y'all. But no hate against the 49ers. But Jordan Love was out there looking like he was Aaron Rodgers for that organization. So again, like we can't sit back and look past Jordan Love. I called him Jordan Rodgers. Like, wow. Jordan Love and that Green Bay Packers team. They picked up Josh Jacobs from the Las Vegas Raiders. Solid running back. Upgrade from Aaron Jones. They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough. But, you know what I mean? Like I said, I think all around, and again, I'm looking forward to see what the cornerback core does and my linebacker core does with this Eagles defense. To be able to say that we're going to have a top 5, top 10 defense. We won't know that probably until going into the bye whether we're going to really be able to have a top 5, top 10 defense in the league. But if our cornerbacks show up and our linebackers are good, we are forced to be reckoned with. So, and to be honest, like I said, the Packers are going to be a tough team. They are a tough team. So, but I'm still picking the Eagles to beat that game. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a nail-biter game. It's going to be one of them games you're going to be on the edge of your seat until the clock hits zeros in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? You're going to be on the edge of your seat until the clock hits zeros in the fourth quarter. I got a field goal victory, 24-21 Eagles. That's week 1, Brazil, 24-21 Eagles over Packers. Moving along. We got the next week against the Atlanta Falcons, Monday Night Football. Kelsey will be in the building. He will be a part of the Monday Night Football countdown crew, talking about his former team, the Philadelphia Eagles, because he signed with a deal with the ESPN Football Countdown crew, NFL Countdown crew. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has given us problems over the years. Kirk Cousins is with a team now who is balanced just as well. They got receivers, they got a tight end, they got a running back. They're forced to be reckoned with. All they were missing was a quarterback. All that team last year was missing was a quarterback. They have one now. The only thing I'm hoping, which is football, is that Kirk Cousins mentally is all over the place because of the drafting of Michael Penix Jr., which I don't think is going to happen because, like I said, Kirk Cousins was drafted after Robert Griffin III in the same draft. So he's kind of used to that awkwardness of having to be drafted, I guess, as the successor of a starting quarterback, because Robert Griffin III was projected to start a quarterback for Washington that year. And he was drafted, a couple rounds later to be his backup. that's an awkward position to be in if you're Robert Griffin III, but Kirk Cousins was that one that was going to succeed him, and he did eventually because Robert Griffin III got hurt a couple times or got hurt. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to do much to Kirk Cousins that he's got Michael Penix Jr. behind him. I'm hoping it does just for the, I was just because I want to, win that game. But Kirk Cousins, he's got a squad on his team, and he's, he's going. That Atlanta Falcons team will do damage this year. The Atlanta Falcons team will do damage this year. Like I said, they're deep. They got Jesse Bates on the defensive end. Tyrell is the cornerback. They got a pretty good, solid defense too. I think Jesse Bates was he was top 5 or top 10 in the league with interceptions last year. So they're deep. They're tough too. So the first 2 games are going to be tough games. They're not going to be easy games by no stretch of the imagination. So please don't look at the Atlanta Falcons or the Green Bay Packers and say, oh, that's cakewalks. No, not. 2 hard-fought games off the rip. And so just thinking about what I'm just saying, that bye week might come at a good time because, this first 2 games are tough. First 2 games are tough. They're nail-biter games. But I'm still going with my Eagles over that game because I think we have the more experience. I think we have the better overall team. I think we have the better, the more athletic quarterback. Kirk might be a little bit more accurate than Jalen, but I think Jalen is taking strides to be that all-around quarterback. And I think Jalen gets it done for us in that game. I'm picking the Eagles 2017 over the Vikings. Over the Falcons. Like I said, it's a nail-biter game. You'll be on the edge of your seat until the 4th quarter with 0 seconds on the clock. Eagles over the Falcons 2017. Next game. Now, historically, this team in their dome has always given the Eagles issues and problems. They always found ways to beat the Eagles and at crucial times too. God knows that year after the Super Bowl when we came to play them again, play them to get back to the NFC Championship, and Alshon Jeffrey missed that, or he dropped the ball in that first down conversion, because we would have kicked the field goal and won the game. We would have kicked the field goal and won the game, and we're going back to the NFC Championship that game. That team, the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, has historically had our number inside the dome. They've had our number inside the dome. However, they haven't faced the arsenal, the attack that we're having now. The team that we have now, they haven't faced that type of attack from us. So I think this go-round is a lot different than what we did in years past. This go-round with Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, our offensive line is a lot different than what we had in years past. So this go-round is a lot different. I think we win that game easily, that game. Now, they're not no slouches. Chris Olave is a good receiver. Derek Carr can be lightning in the bottle at times. He's not consistent. He's not something you want to bank your future on. But the guy's he's an NFL quarterback. He's a good quarterback. But Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley go into the dome and get it done. And get it done. And easily. Like I said, I'm calling this game 28-10. I think by week 3, our identity especially on defense, is kind of starting to get sketched in stone. We know what we are. We know what we're doing. We know our strong suits. We know how where to be and where not to be. We're making plays on defense. I think our defense is starting to come into its own by week 3. So by that game, I think we have our confidence is starting to shoot through the roof. Our confidence is starting to go crazy. Therefore, that game is we just taking it to them. We're taking it to them in that game. We're starting to build confidence. So again, 28-10, I got the Eagles winning that game. Next game, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which most people, since we lost them last year, 25-9 in the playoffs, will say this is a get-back game for us. It's a get-back. It is not. To me, it's not. We lost our identity coming down the stretch. We lost the last 6 of our games coming down the stretch. I was one to believe, because I saw Ocho Cinco, and I was believing too that we were playing possum for the NFL. We weren't trying to show our cards to any teams that we would have to face in the playoffs. I was heavy believing that. I came on here a lot of times saying it too. Because it was no way that I was believing that we lost the ability to play football. It was no way that I was sitting there believing that we could not figure out how to tackle. We could not figure out the offensive play. We couldn't catch up. It was no reason that I was thinking that. I was like, we could not have done that. There's no way. Reality is, that's exactly what happened. We go into Raymond James Stadium, get our butts beat, get sent home, get sent packing. And it hurt for a lot of us. It hurt for me. I think I knew after like the first quarter or something like that, I was like, this is not going to go the way we want it to go. So I was like, you know what, it's over. Season's over. You know what I mean? But I think it was the epic collapse on us. I don't think that the Buccaneers actually. They beat us. I don't think they really had the talent to beat us, but I just think we collapsed. So it was that easy for Tampa Bay to beat us. So in essence, we were checked into Cancun the week before we went to. After that last game against the Giants, we went to Cancun after that game. So I don't think it's that they beat us because they were more talented than us. I just think we lost our skill and our heart in particular. Not even the skill, we just lost our heart. Skill in some sense, sorry. We did lose skill because we couldn't tackle. It was times that I could have probably ran out there and then made plays and I got tackled. So, again, to me, it's not a revenge game. It's just a game that we need to win. And like I said, they're a talented team too. Baker Mayfield, he played his way into a 3-year, $100 million contract. Mike Evans got re-signed. They still got receivers, Godwin, and a couple other guys. They got a nice young running back who's a dual threat running back. So it's not like you got to realize this. This is an NFL team. They're an NFL team for a reason. The players are players on NFL teams for a reason. But again, if we are understanding our identity, these type of teams shouldn't be able to beat us. I wholeheartedly believe that these type of teams should not beat us. So with that being said, again, that game, we win that game. I'm going in a blowout fashion, 28-7. 28-7 in the blowout fashion. 4-0 going into the bye. 4-0 going into the bye. I think going into the bye, coming out of the bye is we catch lightning in the bottle. I'm not going to go over the next couple games because I'm going to break it up. But coming out of the bye, we catch lightning in the bottle, and we got our identity straight, our mind straight, we focus, we know what we're doing. Everybody done settled into their roles, and we just take the league by storm. We just take them by storm. Nobody's going to be ready for the attack that we're going to be bringing to them each and every week come after bye week. So, again, listen to what I said. 4-0 out going into the bye. Mark my words. Next Friday, I'll do another video with the next 5 games, break those games down, wins and losses. You guys, in the meantime, like, share, tag this video, comment below. Tell me what you think about what I've predicted for the first 4 games of the Eagles season. And let's have a good start to the 2024-2025 Philadelphia Eagles season. Go Birds!
Yo, 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 it's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Back with that second part of the installment for the Eagles schedule 2024 review and predictions. If you watched my first video, you saw me have them start out 4-0 going into the bye. Coming out the bye, it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't get any easier. You got that number one defense of last year coming in, or they coming into the link, the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson with that number one defense coming to the link. Here's the thing. I just recently saw a report that people are raving that Deshaun Watson is looking like Deshaun Watson of old. Now, they traded for Jerry Jeudy. They got the number one defense in the league last year. Those guys are talented. Nick Chubb is coming back. I don't know if they got Kareem Hunt still, but if he's on that roster. Njoku, Jerry Jeudy, I forgot the other receivers, but they got a talented team as well. See, I know I predicted the Eagles to be 4-0 going into the bye, and usually historically coming out of the bye, I think we lost 2 games coming out of the bye over the last 10, 15 years. Maybe 2 or 3 games. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's like around 2 or 3 games. But this is a tough game coming out of the bye. A very tough game coming out of the bye against a talented team. And if Deshaun Watson is on point for this team, it could be a problem coming out of the bye. Now, I know you guys are listening and saying, like, I don't know. He sounds like he's predicting a loss. It sounds like he's predicting a loss. But I believe that this game here will will solidify who we are and who we think we are as a team. So this game here will make or I'm not gonna say make or break our season, but it will make or break the confidence that we have, like the level of confidence we have within the Eagles organization. I think if we come out of the bye hitting on all cylinders and beat this team, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a blowout win, just a win that we come back, maybe from down or just like a hard-fought, slug it out to the end type win. If we could do that, I think this says a lot or speaks volumes about the kind of season that we will have. So, without further ado, against the Browns, in the link, I'm going W. I'm going W. Again, I think if we have an identity, our talent will speak for itself. Again, they have a talented team. They have a stacked roster. Our talent, to me, is just a little bit more better. So I'm going to predict a win, a close win, a defensive game. These are, like I said, this is the number one defense of last year. Going up, I think we finished like 11 for 12, and maybe even dropped because of that 6-game skid. But this is going to be a defensive duel. Both defenses are going to have, crazy games because they, like I said, the number one defense of last year against up and coming, hopefully top 5, top 10 defense of this year. I think it's a defensive game. Therefore, I got the Eagles up 10-7. 10-7 at the with the Cleveland Browns coming to the link. All right. Here it is. Homegoing of sorts for the Tiki Barber and the hated Giants fans who were salty with Saquon's decision to come up north to Philly. Or is it south? Whatever. At the end of the day, I heard Tiki Barber when he was saying that that Saquon is pretty much dead to him if he went to the Philadelphia Eagles. My question is, why are you so mad? Do you not know that this is a business? Like, do you not understand that the business side of this says the Giants didn't want to pay me, so why would I want to stay there? Then if I can go somewhere, even within my division, I want to go somewhere where I can compete for a championship. We know the Commanders are up and coming. They're not ready yet. The Giants are not ready yet. They paid Danny Dimes, and he ain't nothing. Um, and the Dallas Cowboys are, up and down. Like, Dallas Cowboys have a better shot than any other team in the NFC East besides the Eagles. So if I'm Saquon Barkley, I'm going to an Eagles team that's stacked. Got two receivers, a tight end, one of the best offensive line in the East. Why not go there and take my talents there and try to get a championship there? I have the best chance of winning there. I have the best chance of maximizing my career in Philly. So Tiki Barber, if you ever was to see this podcast, bleep you. Because you don't even make no sense. You're a hater, bro. You're a hater. I don't understand how you would sit there and tell somebody who gave his blood, sweat, and tears to your organization that you retire from, that he's dead to you because he chose to go to a division rival within the Philadelphia Eagles. And it seems like you would have said that if he would have went to the Cowboys, Redskins, or anybody else, that you would have been fine, or stayed with the Giants, you'd have been fine. But he wanted to go to a place where he could best maximize his chance to win and also be featured as the featured back and get paid like him, get paid like one. We saw the NFL try to devalue that position last year. That's why a lot of the guys, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, all them guys was getting one-year deals. They was trying to franchise tag them. It was like, yo, what are y'all doing? We still, without a good running back, your offense is nothing. If we don't have a running game, your receivers won't be able to make spectacular plays on offense. So you need that running back to be able to solidify your receivers. Like, it's a 1-2 punch. So the NFL had got it wrong last year. I'm glad they made up for it this year. And going forward, like, again, Tiki Barber, bleep you. That's all I'm going to tell you. You're a hater. You're a downright hater. Saquon is where he need to be. He's at a place where he got his best chance to win. So Tiki, bleep you. Going into that game, the Giants, the Giants got a little bit better. They did trade for Brian Burns from the Carolina Panthers. I guess Danny Dimes is coming back. I'm not sure who's really their running back or receiving crew. I think they did sign a running back. I can't remember who. I think they did get a okay running back. But I don't think this team is still they're going to be competitive, but I don't think they're in the driver's seat to be able to make some noise in the playoffs. I think they're still a couple years behind. They got to get rid of that Danny Dimes contract before they really be able to make some type of noise, because I don't think Danny Dimes is it. He scores just once or twice, but he's not it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think that once you get rid of that contract, then maybe you have a chance. But again, that's a win for us. At the Giants is a win. Saquon goes crazy on that team. 120 yards rushing on that team, maybe 130. But it's a Saquon day. I think Kellen Moore gets him involved early and often, and we just dominate that team. We just wipe the floor with them. And again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to be smart because I'm so passionate about the Philadelphia Eagles, but I just don't think the Giants, talent-wise, has anything to match when it comes to us. Like, I don't think they can match up with us. Jacksonville Jaguars coming to the link. So we go up 95, come back, bringing the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. We saw. I think we went in London a couple years ago, faced those guys. They were up 14-0 on us, and it looked like it was crazy because it was raining. It was the weather was crazy. I was like, oh man, we getting ready to get toasted by these guys. But we wound up putting up a game plan, making adjustments, and coming out in that second half, and we dominated that team and we won the game. They lost Calvin Ridley. I don't really think they did nothing in the draft. That team is still competitive, but I still think that they're, a couple steps behind the Eagles. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback when he's not hurt. I don't know. I think last year he got hurt a little bit, but that offense to me was in the first half of the season was good, and then the second half it just like sputtered. I don't. It just like kind of stopped. I don't know what happened to him. Um, but speaking of this year, it's a whole new year. It's probably a whole new dynamic in the offense. So I'm like again, I'm not going to sit here and say that just because I think we're better than them that we blow them out. But I do think we win that game too. And I didn't give a prediction on a Giant score, so let me do that real quick. I'm going 28-10 Eagles over the Giants. 28-10. The Jaguars game, I think that's more of a close game. I'm going 21-14 on that game. I think that the Jaguars make something happen in the first half, and the second half they kind of go stale. You know what I mean? So I think we win that 21-14. Um, oh shoot, I'm sorry, I skipped a game. Cincinnati is out of after the Giants. We're at Cincinnati. We at Burrow. Nah, I ain't gonna call it Burrowhead. No, we're at Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase, Higgins. I think Boyd signed with somebody else, but I think Higgins is asking for a trade, and I think one of their defensive ends are asking for a trade. So this team, while they're all professional, and they probably will, like Higgins will come and play, and their defensive end will come and play. This team is tough. Jamar Chase alone is a game changer. He's different. That's all. He's different. He's easily number one, number two in the league. As far as receiver wise, he's different. The only like if it's top two competition between Chase and what you call from Vikings. Not darn Jamar Chase and what's his name from the Vikings? We were supposed to draft him. I forget his name. He's a big receiver, and I'm just having a brain fart because I'm trying to go off the head with a lot of this stuff. I'm not like going searching it up, researching anything. I'm giving it to you guys raw and uncut. So it's a lot of stuff that I might be stumbling on because I'm just trying to think of it off the top of my head. It'll come to me in the later part of the show. But you know, the Bengals are a tough team. The Bengals going to be a tough team. And if everybody playing, Joe Burrow and all that, he comes back off his wrist injury, and if everybody's playing, that's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a tough game. Again, I think their defense might be their issue. I think the defense is Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry, that's his name, Justin Jefferson. I told you it would come back to me. Like I said, I'm just going off the top of the head with it, and I'm just trying to, go flow through the show as I'm going, with picking these teams. But I think their defense is going to be their Achilles heel when it comes to being able to stop our attack. So again, I got that as a win for the Eagles. A win for the Eagles is the Cincinnati Bengals. Not easy win. Not easy win. I'm going 21-10 on that. 21-10 on that. So if you count, we won. I got us winning the first 4 games. Got us winning the next 4 games. So we 8-0. We 8-0. We on fire out the bye. We on fire out of the bye. The league is right now looking around like, oh no, what did we just let happen? We really let Saquon go to the Eagles, and now we can't stop nothing on that team. Again, like I said in the previous video, if we have identity, it's a wrap. If we have identity, it's a wrap. I'm letting you guys know right here, right now on Top Shelf Sports Talk that if we have identity, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. There's nothing too many teams going to be able to do to stop us. Nothing. Because we're stacked in all positions. And we're starting to get some depth on defense. Like I said, our cornerback position got a lot of depth right now. We get our linebackers shored up, we are good to go. Safety position got a couple players back there. Blankenship, CJ, GJ. Listen, we are on our way. And I was like this last year. And we started out on fire. The league was like, whoa, what are we doing? What's going on? Until that last 6 games, and then we collapsed. But I do not see that happening this year. I do see us rebounding, fundamentally sound, doing the little things that we need to do to win. Sort of like what we did the first 10 games of the season last year. But I think we carried it throughout the year this year. We really stay on point and on key with this game, with this team this year, with our schedule. So again, I got us beating the Cleveland Browns. I'm about to call them the Cavaliers, the New York Giants, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now comes up the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry's world. Jerry said, I ain't calling nobody unless you call me. That's how I run my team. If you call me, you want to be a part of the greatest team on earth, then I'll see what we can do for you. Hey, by the way, Michael Parsons, yeah, you are one of the best defensive ends in the league, defensive players in the league. You average about 10, 11, 12 sacks a year. But listen, buddy, I need to see more from you. Before I give you a contract extension, I need to see more from you. I don't know if you could do it. I'm not sure. And tell your buddy CeeDee Lamb, you can tell him as well. You average 1,200 yards a year since you've been there, but I don't know if you got it all. You ain't Michael Irvin. You ain't Dez Bryant. So I don't know. I got to see more from you. Dak, and we know Dak, you don't got it. We know you don't got it, Dak. We know that. So we're not even going to think about paying you. We're just going to make you play your last year out and get you up out of here. That's where we at. And drafting people. We got a couple people that we going to draft. We got a couple people. We're not signing nobody because nobody want to call us. Oh, yeah, Derrick Henry, you were out there. You live in Dallas, so we know you live in Dallas. Got a big old house in Dallas. But we didn't want to sign you. We didn't want to get better. You know what we did? We brought Zeke back. We wanted Zeke back here. So we brought Zeke back. Yeah, Zeke is a better fit than you, Derrick Henry. He could do more. That's our fit. Jerry Jones, please, man, cut it out, man. Give it up. You're not a good GM. You might draft well. You do draft well. Okay, you do draft okay. I'm not going to say you draft well because I don't want you to think that you're in the ranks of a Howie Roseman or something like that. You're not. You're not. But you did draft well. You do draft well. But because of the uncertainty that team has, and it's a lot of it, they pretty much said we're running it back with the same team we had for the last couple of years, which they haven't done really bad. They've been one of the best regular season teams, period. Like, they've averaged 11 wins, maybe 12 wins a year. A season, regular season, but in the playoffs, they stink it up. So you necessarily can't take the team lightly. They got cornerbacks. They got Diggs and DeJuan Bland back there. So you can't just sit back and say, I'm going to go in here and bomb on this team because this team has got so much uncertainty and do what you want. That's not accurate. That's not something that you can actually literally say that you're going to do and do it. Because Dallas is a good team. Michael Parsons is still I think he wants to be an Eagle. But that's just between me and y'all. But he's still out there. DeMarcus Lawrence, not Lawrence, Lawrence, I forget his first name. D. Lawrence. They got a good defense. They got a good defense. So you can't say you're going to walk all over the team. We split last year with them. They were a part of our epic collapse when we collapsed in the second half of the season. But we split with them last year. But however, this year is a total different year. A total different team, total different coaches, total different mindset. Like I said, we're hitting our stride coming out of the bye. We were hitting it on our way into the bye. We got some rest. We're on fire coming out of the bye. I don't think this Dallas team has enough to stop us. I don't think they have enough to stop us. I think the tear and the amount of fire we're going to be on, it's going to be hard for that Dallas team to stop us. So in that game, got the Eagles winning again. Of course, y'all going to say, again, like especially the non-Eagles fans are going to sit back and say, there's no way this team starts out at, what I got them, 9-0. And like I said, they will start out 9-0 as long as they have their identity. As long as they have their identity, they will start out 9-0. So at the end of the day, we are 9-0. We are on fire. We got the league on fire. We got the league like pissed because they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. So at the end of the day, we start out 9-0. This is the video of the next 5 games after the bye week. Again, guys, like let me tell y'all something. Like I know I'm a big fan, a huge fan of Philadelphia sports, a huge fan of Philadelphia Eagles, a huge fan of Sixers, Flyers. I know that. I understand that. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that I'm not sitting here just being a fan and picking us to win 9 straight games to start the year because I'm just so fanned out. Like I said, I picked us to go undefeated the first 10 games last year. And we did. Don't get it wrong, we collapsed the last 6 games of the year, which I didn't see happening. I knew that stretch when it was the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Seattle Seahawks. I knew that was going to be tough. And I think in that year, on that stretch, I had us. Oh no, and the 49ers was a part of that stretch. I had us losing to Kansas City, beating the 49ers. No, I'm sorry. I think I had us beating Kansas City, losing to the 49ers, and beating the Seahawks, the Cowboys, and the Bills. But we wound up beating Kansas City and losing to the 49ers, beating the Bills, and losing to the Cowboys and Seahawks. So, and like I said, the Cowboys and the Seahawks, that's when the downward slide of the Eagles season began. I just don't see that this year going forward with the Eagles and the type of team that we put together. I see us getting stronger towards the end. Don't get it wrong, the bye week is in the beginning of the season, but I think that once we are on fire, going through that, going out of the bye or coming out of the bye, I think that we finish the season on a high note. We go in the playoffs on a bye. I've seen some predictions saying that the Eagles can finish in the NFC period as low as 3rd or 4th. They actually had us tied with the Cowboys, which I'm like, I don't agree with that. Maybe Detroit, or because I think it was San Fran, Detroit. I think it was Dallas, and then the Eagles. But I don't understand how that Dallas team is up there. Like I think there's other teams in the NFC period that will be better than Dallas. I even think the Rams would be better than Dallas. I mean, there's other teams that's going to be way better than Dallas in the NFC. But at the end of the day, that's what the world. And don't get it wrong, I like it like that. I like it for them to doubt us and don't think that we're going to do what we say we're going to do. I like to be the underdog. The underdogs are the hungriest, right? We all know that. We all know that from our Super Bowl run. The underdogs is the hungriest. We know that for a fact. So at the end of the day, we just got to keep doing what we do. We got to continue to build on our identity. We got to continue to play Eagles football, that blue-collar style of football, smash mouth football, we got to stick to the basics, run the ball, set up the pass, or even if you pass the ball to set up the run. However it works out, whatever the team is giving you is what you take and what you do. Do not recreate the wheel, because there's no need for you to do that. There's no need for you to recreate the wheel. So with that being said, again, to recap the first 9 games of the season, I got the Eagles 9-0. 9-0. You guys are more than welcome to comment below and tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm drinking that Eagles Kool-Aid. I know some of you out here is going to tell me I'm drinking that Eagles Kool-Aid, and I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, the way we are structured, the way we are built, again, barring injury, which every team is going to have, as long as we have our identity, as long as we understand where we're supposed to be on the field, how we're supposed to play, what we're supposed to do, there's nothing nobody can do with us. There's nothing nobody can do with us. Set the tone early. Set it in the preseason, OTAs. Establish that identity then. Let that carry on to preseason, into the regular season, throughout the regular season, into the playoffs. And we will be fine. I see a parade down on Broad Street if that happens. A parade will be on Broad Street if we establish our identity. So every video I make from here on out, especially talking about the Philadelphia Eagles schedule and predictions on the schedule, you'll hear me keep saying, as long as we establish our identity, we will be fine. That's the key thing. That's the key thing. You have to know where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be at, what is expected of you, what you're supposed to be doing. You have to know your role. This is your role. That is your role. You have to understand that as a player in this organization or any organization. But right now we're talking about the Eagles, and we need to make sure our identity is solidified. And if it's solidified, we are good to go. So again, with that being said, I need you guys to like, share, tag this video with your friends, family, put it on your post, help Top Shelf Sports Talk get to 100 followers on YouTube and all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Help build the platform, like I said in the video I dropped before this, to announce that I had a video, that I announced the first video of the schedule review. I'm back. I am back. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to have fun this year. Look for me to be live on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. talking about not only Eagles and Philadelphia sports right now. We're going to be talking about everything. We're going to have a good time. We're going to engage with each other, debate, argue, fuss, fight, whatever it is. We're going to have a good time on the show, a good time on the platform, put out some good content, some knowledgeable content so that people could be a part of this. Again, thanks for all the support that you guys have been giving me throughout my journey. I hope that that support keeps growing, keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I appreciate you guys. It's your boy, Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Peace! Yo, 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 it's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Back with another sequel to the schedule review. If you watched the first 2 videos, you had me start out at had me predict that the Eagles would start out at 9-0. 9-0. First 4 off the bye, going into the bye, and then coming out the bye on fire. Like I said before, I believe this team after the bye, and even before the bye, before the season even starts, I believe this team will have an identity to where as though they know what they're supposed to be doing on that field and when they're in their game to be able to win tough games, because this is a tough schedule. It's not easy because a lot of these teams that we're looking at, yeah, in years past, they were kind of cakewalks because they weren't as good as they are now. But these guys, a lot of these teams have rebuilt. So it's going to be different this go around. This is a tough schedule. People thinking it's not a tough schedule. It is a tough schedule. So be mindful of that. This is not an easy schedule. This is hard fought games, and we're gonna have to play fundamentally sound football. We have to make sure we end our gaps where we're supposed to be at, play within the system, do our jobs. That's number one. Do our jobs. Whatever your job is, do your job and hold the man to the right and to the left of you accountable of doing their job. And if they're not, point it out. We need 22 captains on this team, not 4, not 5, 22. Everybody need to point at everybody when they're not doing something right and correct it. You know, so our last game that we left off on the last video was Dallas with a win. Now we go into this is this next game. You know, we got 2 divisional games, Dallas and now the Commanders. The Commanders are rebuilding. I think they did sign Austin Eckler. They got the young quarterback who they're raving about. They're thinking he's going to be a pretty solid quarterback. They're thinking they got it right in this draft. They got Dan Quinn as the new coach. Was the offensive coordinator from I think he used to coach LSU. Oh no, Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's the offensive coordinator. You know, so they already had okay defense, but they got rid of a couple Montez Sweat and Chase Young. But they still have a couple people there that can make some noise. Of course, wide receiver wise, Terry McLaurin. I know they let go, or Samuel had traded or signed with Buffalo. But they still got a couple. I'm pretty sure they're going to be young, energetic, and firing on all cylinders, because it's a new system for them. It's a new coach for them. So with that being said, this game here, it's a 8:15 primetime game coming off of a 4:25 Dallas game. We're at home, and sorry to say this, fans, but this is our checkpoint. I think we lose this game by a field goal because, like I said, these young, energetic teams, where you take them for granted, I think this is the humbling moment for this team. I think you lose a game like this and say, hold on, let's regroup, get our bearings together, understand who we are, what we're doing, and get back on track come next week. So again, I think this is one of the games that's like a smack in the face, like, all right, bring you right back down to reality, let you know that you ain't who you think you are, and get your mind right, and let's move forward. You know what I mean? So I think this is a loss. I don't like losing to the Commanders no more than anybody else that's watching this video does. But I think right here is where we get our first loss. I mean, because think about it, last year, nobody had, especially without Aaron Rodgers, nobody had predicted us losing to the Jets. And what did we do? We went out there and we played one of them subpar games where we, every time that the Jets was trying to hand us the game, we would find a reason not to take it. It was a fumble, a turnover, interception, whatever it was. You know what I mean? We found ways not to win a game. So in my eyes, this is one of those type of games, where we think we should win because we've been hitting on all cylinders all season long, and now we run into a wall, and it's like, it's not even a wall, but we run into a punch in the face, and we lose this game. We don't lose by much. We lost 14-10 to the Jets last year. I'm thinking it's the same type score, 13-10, Commanders. So I got that down as a loss, first loss. It's not the end of the world. Guys, don't kill me. Like I said, I don't want to lose to the Commanders no more than you guys do, but this is where we got to make sure we humble ourselves and understand we still got work to do. Every day is work. Every day is progress. We got to make progress every single day. So this is the game that we got to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable. All right, next game. And actually, that's a Thursday night game, too, so keep that in mind. Next game, at the Los Angeles Rams. We're at the Los Angeles Rams. Now, that's a pretty good team. Aaron Donald did retire, and I did see a report that they're trying to see if they can recruit him to come back once they reach the playoffs. And for him, I mean, why not? What's the risk? You know what I mean? You could probably ride off to the sunset again with and try to win a championship this time. You know what I mean? Um, they are a good team. They're a solid team. Matthew Stafford is always throwing the ball all over the field. He's always been, one of those gunslinger type quarterbacks. Can't put nothing past him. Puka Nacua, Cooper Cup, Tyler Higbee. Um, I'm not sure who their running back is. I think they did sign a running back. I think it was Tony Pollard. No, Tony Pollard with the Chargers, I believe. But they're still a good team. They're still a good team, and you can't look past them either. Again, we just got slapped in the face the week before by the Commanders, and this game, I believe we get humbled and get back on track, and we beat this team. I think we beat this team, and I think we beat this team in a close match. 24-20, Eagles. 24-20 Eagles. Back on the winning track. Now, this next game is going to be tough. And to me, in my eyes, I would love to see this as the Super Bowl preview. Who I'm talking about. Give y'all 2 seconds to tell me who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, God, you know what? When the free agency was going on, I'll be honest with you guys, when free agency was going on, I was nervous because I thought that Derrick Henry was going to sign with the Dallas Cowboys, which means we would have had to face him 2 times a year. 2 times a year. I did not want to see him twice a year, especially with those star on his helmet. But being as though he signed with the Baltimore Ravens, man, that is a tough squad. That is a tough team right there. Lamar Jackson got his payday, so he's out of his feelings. He's ready to play football. That is a tough squad. Defensively, I know they lost Patrick Queen, their linebacker, because he went to the Steelers. But that is a tough squad, man. They're still going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think they have a legitimate chance if they can figure out a way not to choke when it counts. Lamar Jackson, you got to step it up. You got to play like your life is on the line. And I'm not totally blaming you for the loss of last year, but y'all, before y'all got to the Super Bowl. But you got to play better, buddy. You got to play better, man. But this is going to be a tough game. This is really going to be a tough game. And I'm going to say, I think we lose this game. I think we lose this game. Tough match. We don't lose by much, but we lose this game 21-17. We lose to the Baltimore Ravens 21-17. So, again, guys, do not get down in the dumps. It's going to be a tough team. This is a tough schedule. We got to understand that. There's no cakewalk. There's no easiness to the schedule. You know what I mean? These are all NFL teams. We got to make sure we understand that. These are all NFL caliber teams. So we got to understand, we got to play our A game. Again, like I said, we got to make sure. We have to make sure we have our identity set before preseason. Establish that OTAs, joint practices, need an identity. That should be somewhere in the locker room. Identity. If we have that, even with these tough losses, we still can get where we want to be at, and that's in the Super Bowl. So we can't be perfect. We have to be realistic and understand, we're not going to win them all, but we got to learn and build on our losses. We can't just not win them and just not learn anything and go into this next game with the same mentality as we had the game that we lost, because we'll lose again. So again, I got us 2 losses in this stretch. So far, the Commanders and the Ravens. All right? Commanders, Ravens. 2 losses so far. Next game should be your redemption. Should be like, all right, let me go ahead and get some frustration out on people, because I got to make sure that we good coming to the, going the stretch into the schedule. We play the Carolina Panthers. at the link. They come to the link. It's December 8th. It's cold. You know what I mean? We get our redemption. We get our get back. We get back in that win column on this team. We get back. We dominate that game. There's no question in that game. There's no question in that game. We beat that team handily. We get back in the win column. We start feeling good about ourselves because, like I said, we start to get into the meat and the potatoes of the schedule because we only played 2 division games so far. Only 2 division games. So we get back into the meat and potatoes of the schedule. So we beat this Carolina team 28-7. Eagles. All right. So, again, we got to make sure we have identity. We got to make sure we play the game the right way within the system, do what we're supposed to do, everybody do their job. Because this next team is a prime example of why we got to be on point and not, just freelancing. Everybody who done wrote Russell Wilson off because of, the troubles he had in Denver. And I don't understand it because Denver had no offensive line. I mean, the man ran for his life practically the whole time he was there. But they used him as a scapegoat and said it was his fault that they didn't achieve the level of success that they should have. But how can you when you're running for your life the whole time? You can't sit back and just pick teams apart. It's not. It wasn't to me. You might be able to throw 1, 2, maybe 3 games on Russ, but the overall way they were losing was not Russ. A lot of times, like that one game when they got beat 70-20 or something like that by Miami, you gonna blame that on Russ? Russ wasn't out there on defense. Russ was on the bench because he couldn't get in the game because the defense was just getting run up and down the field. They weren't doing nothing. That ain't on Russ. So again, I think this Pittsburgh team, Mike Tomlin, hell of a coach. Mike Tomlin gets Russ on track. He gets Russ looking like Russ when he was in Seattle going to Super Bowls. He gets Russ back to that level of confidence of a quarterback to be able to make those plays that he once did when we all was like Russ is the man. So I believe in this game, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard-fought game. Again, we got to, hopefully, our defense is where we needed to be by this juncture of the schedule. We already know Pittsburgh got a good defense. They added Patrick Queen. They got cornerbacks. They got safeties. They're a pretty solid defense as well. We got to make sure we're crossing all T's and dotting all I's in this game. This is going to be one of those, like I said earlier, nail biters when you sit on the edge of your seat to the zeros come across on the fourth quarter, nail biter. 21-20 Eagles. I'm going to just tell you, 21-20 Eagles. Tight game. All right, so now we're going through the division. Now we're going through the division for the rest of for the remainder of the schedule. So we're at Washington. Then Dallas is here at the link, and then the Giants are here at the link. These to me, because we're getting our confidence going into the playoffs, these to me are wins. These to me are wins. 3 wins in a row to finish out the season, because at the end of the day, I believe at least one of these teams, maybe 2 of these teams, don't have nothing to play for at the end of this season when we playing them. You know what I mean? So I think a lot, like especially the last game against the Giants, I think that's a game where all our reserves are playing, obviously, because we should be, resting our starters and getting them ready for the playoff run. But all our reserves are getting quality time playing in this game in case we need them in the playoff run. So I think, to me, we finish out with 3 W's going into the last 3 games of the season. So I'm going to check them off as 3 wins. Commanders, we win 21-10. Dallas, we win 24-20. And the Giants, we win 21-7. So, like I said, guys, this is a hard schedule. So, 18 games, we play 18 games. I got us losing 2. So, 16-2. That's a darn good season. I mean, I see a lot of people picking us to win somewhere around 12 games, 12, 13 games. Barring injury, I got us 16-2. I got us really focused. I got us really looking at it and saying, like, we squandered an opportunity last year to get back to the Super Bowl and win it. So I got everybody laser focused going into this season. Everybody understanding what they're asked to do so they can do that on the field, play the way they need to play, and understanding their roles. Nobody's ego is bigger than anybody else's. Nobody's worrying about how many catches you caught, how many touchdowns you got, how many rushes you got. Nobody's worried about none of that. Everybody's looking for just the W. So that is why I'm saying, Top Shelf Sports Talk is saying, we will be laser focused and only lose 2 games. Only lose 2 games. So at the end of the day, none of this will happen if we don't do the little things out there, guys. Like, Eagles, if y'all listening, any Eagle player that ever is listening to this podcast, this show, please understand, do what you're supposed to do, and what I'm predicting will come true. Do your job, and what I'm predicting will come true. If you don't do your job, then what I'm predicting will be so hard for it to actually happen that it won't happen. But if you do what you're supposed to do, we can achieve 2 losses in the season. We have a team that can achieve that. If everybody works hard, put the work in, put the time in, works hard, we can achieve the goal that I'm setting out for us. It's not high. It's not high. But it's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication. It's sort of like with me, what I'm doing when it comes to my podcast, man. I got a lot of highs and lows, and I just got to push through and keep going and keep going and keep going to try to provide at least some entertaining content for you guys, because this is what it's about. So at the end of the day, like I said, if I got to work hard and do what I got to do to put out the content for you guys to be able to listen to me and trust what I'm saying, so can you, Eagles players. You guys can do what you're supposed to do to be able to give us the product on the field that we want, that we need. We want to see guys working, busting their butts, pause, doing the little things that make the victories count. Doing the little things that come out with the victories is what we want to see. You guys owe us that. After that epic collapse that y'all had last year, you guys owe us this. You guys owe us the respect to be able to do the little things out there on that field that we need you guys to do. We show up every game. We travel to see you guys. We're here day in and day out, practice facility. Who turns out 50,000 on practice at the link? What other NFL organization is doing that? 50,000 at the link like it's a football game to watch y'all practice. So y'all owe us the responsibility to take what your profession is serious and do it for us. Reimburse us for the hard work and the money that we spend to come see you guys. And even if we can't actually come down to the link, but the prices of cable, internet, and everything like that we pay for to be able to watch it. You guys at least owe us that. So, again, what I'm predicting on my schedule shouldn't be so hard and unattainable because you guys are going to do what you're supposed to do and know your identity and roles within the system. So that's how all this is going to work. Everybody's going to take their job seriously and hold the man next to them, to the right of them, to the left of them, accountable for what they're not doing. And that man that's being held accountable don't get in his feelings and tell that other man, like, shut up, leave me alone. You don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't care if you're the superstar of the team. If you did something wrong, the bench guy should be able to come up to you and say, yo, listen, you should have did this instead of that. And you should see it from his point of view. And say, well, maybe you got some truth to it. Y'all should get the pad, sit down, get the pad, look at it and say, all right, this is why I did. Oh, no, I see what you did, but this is, if you look at it from this angle, this is why I'm telling you this. Oh, okay. And y'all chop it up and y'all come up with the best decision based off of what y'all brought together for the team. Y'all do it for the team. Y'all do it for the fans, more importantly. Do it for the fans that's in that link or on that travel trip to whatever state or city y'all in, watching y'all play, cheering y'all on. Sometimes we take over stadiums. I mean, we just got it done to us in the basketball world where the Knicks fans came over and took over the Wells Fargo Center. They took it over. That's usually a Philly thing. That's usually Philly. We go somewhere and dominate. We go over to other teams and dominate. We dominate their stadiums. It's like their home games, it's our home games, and they're playing away because we drown out their fans. Why? Because we are that passionate about how we feel about our Philadelphia Eagles football team. And because we feel that way, you guys should feel that energy and reciprocate it on the field for us. Take no game lightly. Even though, like I said, like the Carolina Panthers and teams like that, they're NFL teams. They're NFL players on that team. And they're there for a reason because they have the ability to play football. And if you let guys like that and those teams get confidence to be able to say, oh, we can do what we want against you guys because you guys are taking us lightly, then you guys and us, we are the fools. We are the fools. So again, you have to go out, know your identity, respect every team for their talents, and do what you do best. Do what you do best. Do what you're getting paid to do, because we're doing what we get paid to do. We're doing what we pay to do. We're making it hard for teams to come in the link and get plays off and hear the play call come into the headset. We're doing that. A lot of us go home with no voice. A lot of us go home, can't talk, and still got to go to work the next day. You got to be at work whispering because you can't talk. You lost your voice screaming at the game the night before. And we take it on the chin, and we still do it. We proud. A lot of us are proud to do it. Most of us, 99.9.98, whatever the case may be, is proud to do it. So we proud to go out there, risk our voice, risk pretty much our jobs, because a lot of times, a lot of us have to be on phones to support you guys. That's the least you can do and return the favor to us and play your hearts out. Play your hearts out. Again, guys, this was the schedule review. I'm pep talking like as if this is game one. But it got to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. Why not start now? Why not start here on this show? Hopefully one day the Eagles hear this and say to themselves, like, he's got a point. People are paying ridiculous amounts of money to buy tickets to these games only for us to sell ourselves and them short by not going out there and taking it serious and learning from our mistakes and learning about what we do wrong and fixing it and maximizing our talent. So, and I'm not trying to preach into existence that nobody's on the Eagles or the Eagles players are doing their job. I'm just saying we don't want that to happen at all, be an option at all. We got to start from OTAs. We got to start from especially a lot of them got relationships that they done built just by being teammates. So it's nothing wrong with you guys taking time every so often, when you're not with your families and saying, let's get together, let's go over some things, let's get our chemistry together, let's understand where we need to be at, how you like me to hand you the ball, where you need me to throw you the ball at, how you need to be blocked. Like, these are the times that we should take in consideration, that we need to do those type of things. Because at the end of the day, the more chemistry and camaraderie we build on the field, it's just like second nature now. There's no guessing game. There's no trial period. Everything just flows. Everything just goes and takes off from week 1 all the way to week 18. But it takes all of us to do it, even us as fans. The reason why I can sit here and say I think we only losing 2 games is because I believe. I believe. I believe in what I'm saying. I'm not fanboy. I'm not sitting there just spewing some stuff off the top of my head because I have nothing better else to do. I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about it. I believe that we got the talent and the tools that we need to win another Super Bowl. I also believe the way we are set up, that we are set up to win multiple Super Bowls. We are set up to win multiple Super Bowls. So this is why I'm sitting here being so passionate now, because last year was the ultimate collapse, the ultimate letdown, the ultimate slap in the face. Because like I said, in that Tampa Bay game, I knew after the first quarter it was a wrap. We was already checked into Cancun. It was a wrap after the first quarter. I already knew that. I sat there and watched most of it because I'm like, all right, well, ain't nothing else to do, so I might as well watch this game. I think I turned it off like midway through the third quarter, because there was no way that we were playing that bad. In my eyes, there's no way that we should have been playing that bad. But we were. So looking at that, as the Eagles organization, the players, the coaches, front office, I don't care who you are, training staff, scouting people, all y'all should look at that and say, you know what, we slapped our fan base in the face, and now we owe them. This is the year that we come back out and we repay the slap in the face we gave those guys last year. So with that being said, man, that's a wrap for the schedule breakdown review. You guys in the comments, tell me how you feel about my predictions for the Eagles schedule. Tell me where you think that I'm wrong, what games that you think I got wrong, what games you think I got, right. Tell me how you feel. Again, if you're watching this video, drop a like, drop a follow, and share it out. Share it out to your friends, family, relatives, whoever. Get the platform growing. My goal on YouTube is to get to 100 followers. I'm at 42 followers right now. 42 followers right now. Please, it doesn't cost you guys anything to drop a follow on YouTube, drop a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It doesn't even cost you guys to like the videos. Even if you don't agree with what I'm saying, like them. Help me get to my goal. Help me get to my goal. Again, I appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been giving me over my journey. It's been fun. Like I said in my new video alert, Top Shelf Sports Talk is back, and we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. So like it up, share it, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Starting next Sunday, we will be live at 11 a.m. to talk sports. Not just Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, and Flyers, but all sports. Sunday, 11 a.m. Tune in.